All right, let's dive into a really powerful idea from author Ryan Holiday. The idea that your entire future, everything you're hoping to achieve, really just boils down to mastering one single thing. Let's get into it.
So, think about it for a second. What if just one principle could unlock all your potential? Your growth, your skills, your success? What if there was a master key to becoming the person you truly want to be? Well, that's the big question we're tackling today.
And this right here, this is the promise at the heart of it all. It's a simple, but kind of profound idea, isn't it? If you can control yourself, you can control your own destiny. Being able to direct your own actions, well, that's the ultimate form of power.
So let's start with the absolute basics. When we talk about discipline, what are we even talking about? Well, a lot of the time, it just comes down to a choice between two paths, the right one and the easy one.
And here it is, boiled down. You can forget all the old ideas about punishment or being super harsh on yourself. Discipline is just this, doing the right thing even when, and especially when, every single part of you wants to do the easy thing instead.
And this breaks it down so perfectly. Our whole day is just a series of these tiny little battles, right? Hitting snooze versus actually getting up, grabbing the soda versus the water, mindlessly scrolling on your phone versus just 10 minutes of real focus. Each time you make that right choice, it's a small win for discipline.
And this might be the most hopeful part of this whole idea. Discipline isn't some magic trait you're either born with or you're not. Nope, it's a muscle. And just like any muscle, the more you use it, every single time you pick the hard, right thing over the easy, comfortable thing, the stronger it gets.
Okay, so if discipline is a muscle, where do you even start training it? The thinking here is pretty clear. You start with the most concrete thing you have, the thing you can actually feel in control. You start with your body.
So why start here? Well, think about it. Your body is where your energy and focus live. A slouched, tired body, that leads to a tired, unfocused mind. So getting a handle on the physical stuff isn't just about being healthy. It's literally the first step to getting a handle on your entire life.
And what's great is you can start right now with things that are incredibly simple. I mean, look at this. Just sitting up straight tells your brain to be alert. A quick 2-minute walk can wake everything up. Drinking enough water actually fuels your ability to learn. And having a routine, that just puts it all on autopilot, so you're not fighting that battle every single day. These are your first easy wins.
Okay, so once you start getting a handle on the physical side, the next challenge is the internal one. We're moving from the body to the mind, and we're talking about how to tame that nagging inner voice.
This is such a huge realization. Your brain is going to throw all sorts of thoughts at you all day long. Doubts, fears, lazy excuses. The secret isn't to stop the thoughts. That's impossible. The secret is realizing you don't have to listen to them. You're the one in the driver's seat. You get to choose which voice gets the microphone.
And oh man, our minds are tricky. They whisper these little stories that feel like total facts. I'm not good enough. This is just too hard. And the classic, maybe tomorrow. The first step to beating these tricks is to just see them for what they are. They're just thoughts, not orders.
So here's your toolkit for fighting back. That one deep breath, that creates a tiny but crucial space between the impulse and your reaction. A simple sentence like, "I can do this," can totally shout down the negative chatter. And reframing "I'm bad at this" to "I am learning," that changes everything. And just choosing one task, it starves all the distractions of oxygen.
Okay, we've gone through the body and the mind. Now let's talk about the one resource that, once it's gone, you can never ever get back. Your time.
The biggest threat to your time isn't some big, scary villain. It's that constant, low-level buzz of distraction. The phone notifications, the social media feed, the endless stream of "I'll just check this for a second" moments that completely shatter your focus.
And hey, this isn't some new, modern problem. The source material points to people like George Washington, whose whole legacy was built on respecting time. He treated every hour like it was precious, because he knew that once it was spent, it was gone for good.
So how do we actually do this? It's not about some crazy, complicated system. It starts with a tiny plan for the day. Then, and this is key, you do the important thing first, before the world and your phone have a chance to pull you in a million directions. You gotta protect that time. And then learn to use those little time pockets. The 5 minutes you're waiting in line, the 10 minutes on the bus. It all adds up,
All right, so you're building discipline in your body, your mind, and your time. That's awesome. But how do you make it stick? And maybe more importantly, how do you protect it from everything trying to pull you away?
Well,
It all comes down to one really simple, but sometimes incredibly hard tool. What's the one word that can act like a shield for your focus?
That's it. No. It's the most powerful discipline tool there is. Saying no to distractions, no to other people's requests that will throw you off track, and no to your own lazy impulses. Because every single time you say no to something unimportant, you're actually saying a huge yes to what really matters.
So, let's make this super practical. Create a no list. Before you start on something important, just decide what you will not do. This isn't about being restrictive, it's about being liberated. You're creating a little bubble of freedom for your brain to focus on the one thing it needs to.
We've covered the tools, the techniques, all the strategies, but there's one final piece of the puzzle. What's the fuel that makes this whole engine run, especially on those days when it feels really, really hard?
It's your purpose, your why. The big reason you're doing all of this in the first place. Why bother getting up early? Why do the hard work? When that why is super clear, to build a better life, to master a new skill, to become the person you want to be, then discipline doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It just feels like the path forward.
Because in the end, this huge, grand idea of a disciplined life, it's not built overnight. It's built one small choice at a time, moment by moment. It's built on the very next small thing you decide to do. So, the only question that really matters is, what will your first choice be?